Hello everyone, it's me again, Mark. Welcome back to another episode of The Balcony Gardener. Today we are going to propagate a beautiful philodendron, the Philodendron birkin. And as you can see right behind me, my philodendron birkin is ready to be propagated. And I will show you the steps and ways of how to do it. My reason for propagating it is so that I could have more of it and be able to share it with my other friends who has just started taking care of plants, especially now that it's COVID and they are stuck at home. I wanted to share this plant with them. And so without further ado, let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen slash plant studio. So moving on, the first and easiest way to propagate your philodendron birkin is by noticing the baby growths right around the pot. So if you see the baby growths, you can actually pull it out and easily repot it, and voila, this is what I did a week ago. So basically you notice and observe the growths right around your main plant or the plant parents, and you could easily pull it off and then plant it straight. It's that easy. It's easier than propagating by water or cutting. So you have philodendron birkins right away on a different pot. So in this case, I've planted 3 plant babies over here, and then see how they grow, and then I could individually repot them again later on. Okay, so the next way of propagating your philodendron is by, I'll show you around, because every single philodendrons are different. So it's a case-to-case basis. So the first thing is that you don't right away cut off what is, out there, because what we're gonna try to do is not to stress out our plant so much, so that it would grow without any damages, or we don't hurt it too much, so that it can easily grow back, and we won't have any problems with diseases as well. So in this case, our first observation would be that there are actually 2 plant parents over here. So they're basically entangled in one pot. This could be a growth from the rhizomes of the plant parent over here. So what we're gonna do is to make a very important decision, and that is by cutting off one of the 2. And my decision in this case is to cut off the smaller one, because this one is already very pretty on its own, and the smaller one, we are able to cut it off and repot it, and also be able to do a cutting over here that we will then water propagate. So it's a little bit tricky. I'll show you without damaging the plant too much. So good luck to me. What we're gonna do is to look for this is like being a doctor. So we're gonna look for its veins and not to damage so much of the main arteries. But just be careful. What we want to do is not to kill it. Alright. Okay. So this one's pretty easy. I can easily pull it off, but then we're gonna save as much roots as we can. There you go. And then just place it back inside. I hope you can see it. It's not easy, but yeah, there you go. We have to make sure that the roots are not damaged. Okay, so this one. Okay, I'm gonna go in deep. Oh, this root belongs to the bigger one, and this is the final aerial root that we're trying to take off. So there you go. As you can see, we have managed to dislocate or take off this other plant over here, which we can plant straight, and it would be a plant of its own. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this as our medium for propagation. And so we're just gonna leave it on this side over here. Okay, that will be propagated. And if you notice, our main plant is still beautiful, and we haven't done so much damage into it, and that is what we aim to do. We want to be able to do less harm or damage to our plant parent, but it's a different case for every single plant. If I didn't have this connected to the plant parent, I would have done the propagation from using this plant parent over here. And what we would have done is to be able to cut some of its nodes from here, and it would be left a little less pretty than what it is now. So this one, I could put it back into my balcony garden, and it would happily be a plant of its own. It is important that we find the nodes, and in this case it's a bit tricky because the nodes are very close to each other, so we don't want to kill it by choosing the wrong nodes. So we're going to cut on the internode, which is between the two nodes, and that is over, let's see, I hope you can see it. Alright, so we're going to cut it off over here. So that would be between these two nodes. Okay, and then we're gonna do the cutting now. I hope I don't kill it. Okay. Okay, we lost one leaf, but that's okay. So that's it. So this is the node that we are going to water propagate, and this is the one that we can directly plant into another pot. Okay guys, so just as simple as that, we've got one for water propagation, and as you can see, there are already an existing aerial roots within it, and that would actually help on the speeding up of the rooting system. So we put it into a clean water and leave it there up until we see the roots actually coming out, and until such time that probably we do it for like 2 months or less. It depends on the growth, and you have to constantly change the water into a clean one so that it doesn't get any infections or any diseases. So you will know when it's ready. It's ready when the roots has already developed and ready to be repotted. But that will do for now. And this one, we are going to repot this into another pot, and we are going to be using a bit of garden mix soil, also some cocoa husk, cocoa peat, put a little bit of perlite, and also compost. So that is my mix for this aroid and philodendron. We have to be able to secure a very drainy soil mix, because they do require a lot of They don't want water retention. They want water to just keep on flowing, and yeah, that's how they prefer it. So I'm not going to show you how to do the potting, but you get the idea of how to do it, and basically that's it for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the propagation of Philodendron birkin, and I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.